Have you ever had soup dumplings? They are my absolute favorite. Here's how I make them. Let's make some soup dumplings. You can screenshot the ingredient list. For the full recipe video, check out my YouTube channel. Here in a pot of water, I've added chicken, some pork skin, green onion, garlic, peppercorns. You could also add fresh ginger, but I end up using the meat later for flautas. Skim off any scum or foam, and I'm removing the chicken, and I'm going to shred that for later use. I will leave the bones and skin in, and you want to boil this down. It's going to take about 4 hours until you get maybe a liter of broth. You want to strain that, and I'm only going to be using 1 cup of the congealed broth, but here I have 2 cups going on a baking pan, and I'm going to place that in the freezer for about 30 minutes or so until it congeals. In the meantime, for the dough, I have 227 grams of flour. I'm adding salt. I'm also going to be adding some hot water. Again, check that ingredient list. Give it a mix. And eventually I'm going to start mixing and combining this with my hands. And I'm going to knead the dough until it comes together into a dough ball. And I am using bread flour, so the gluten does get tough and worked. So if you need to rest in between kneading it, go for it. Eventually you'll want to knead the dough until it is smooth, and then you'll want it to rest for 1 hour. Here I'm going to create the pork filling, so I have my pork meat with some fat, and I'm just going to pulse that in my food processor, and it's minced. So now I'm going to add chopped scallion. Here I have garlic and ginger. I'm also going to be adding some white pepper. Here I have salt. I'm also going to add some dark soy sauce, some Xiao cooking wine, and a pinch of sugar. Give it a mix. And here I'm going to add 1 cup of my congealed broth to the pork meat. You'll want to combine well. And before I forget, I'm adding some sesame oil. Mix, and it's ready. So my dough has rested, so I'm just going to roll it out into a log shape, half that, roll the half, and start cutting pieces of dough. Ultimately, you want to have about 18 to 20 dumpling wrappers, and you're just going to work the edges of the dumpling wrapper. You want it thicker in the center, and here we go. So you're going to fill it, and just carefully and do the best you can to fold and crimp the edges. It's kind of like a fold and a twist. And the thumb will help guide the dough into the pointer finger until you get this cute dumpling, and you sort of twist it off, and that's that. I'm placing it on cabbage leaves, and I'm going to steam this no more than 10 minutes. This took about 9 minutes. And you have soup dumplings. So good.